Pastor Martin and Pastor Wai. And very quickly, the Bristol Chinese Church has just celebrated its 50th anniversary as a fellowship and its 20th anniversary as a church in our city. So they've been here for a long time, and they've been reaching out to a lot of Chinese students who have been arriving in Bristol as well. So without further ado, here is Pastor Martin.
Good morning, brothers and sisters-in-law, and also friends. So my name is Martin. Surname is Choi. I came to Bristol in 2017. So this is my 4th year in Bristol to serve in the Bristol Chinese Christian Church. So actually, we have paid attention to the. Let me share the PowerPoint. Pay attention to the Hong Kong new immigrants. So I was in Bristol. Honestly, I'm not new to the Bristol. I was in Bristol from 1990 to 96 when I studied my master's degree and PhD degrees about 30 years ago. So I feel it's a blessing to coming back to Bristol to share, to work in the Bristol Chinese Christian Church. I was born in Hong Kong and grew up in Hong Kong. But Bristol is not new to me, even though I came here 4 years ago. But I was here 30 years ago. Do you see my screen?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, sorry. Let me share that. Okay, let's move on. So I'll give you a little bit background about the situations in Hong Kong. Last year, our Prime Minister mentioned that up to about 3 million Hong Kong residents are to be offered to apply, we call a BNO, British National Overseas Visa, settle in the UK and ultimately apply for citizenship in UK. And also in last year, the Home Office estimates at least about 154,000 Hong Kong people could arrive on the BNO visa in the first year. That means this year. And between about 238,000 to 322,000 arriving in Britain before 2026. That means within this 5 years, you will expect about 300,000 Hong Kong people on, we call the new immigrants from Hong Kong. So I do a little bit rough calculation. If I base on about 69 major cities in UK, using 300,000 figure, so that means roughly we have about 4,350 Hong Kong people will come to UK within these 5 years per city. So that means if I look at the Bristol is one of the biggest cities in UK. So approximately is about 4,350 new Hong Kong immigrants. So far what we have contacted, so we found that it's about a family, they have about 4 members. That means about 1,100 new families will settle in Bristol. So actually, we have the visions starting from last year. We know that the new immigrant will come from Hong Kong. So we set up a team in 2020 to minister the new immigrant. So far, we have contacted 95 Hong Kong families. They contact us for support. And already 42 Hong Kong families have arrived in Bristol. So we still keep in touch with them, try to help them to settle in Bristol. But you will expect about 53 Hong Kong families planning to come to Bristol or other UK cities, starting from June to August. I will say this is the peak season for Hong Kong family to come over because it's a summer period. And also the children will have the summer holiday. So they will come over during this period. So most of them contact us through different ways, like the website, our church Facebook, through email, friends, WhatsApp, Signal. So this all sorts of social media. Very recently, we host a PR arrival Zoom meeting just a few days ago. to welcome those of the new immigrants. They are planning to come over, but not yet to come over. So we arrange this, we call the pre-arrival Zoom meeting. We introduce our church to them. We have two families to share how they come over to Bristol. And also we divide into different groups, focus on different issues like the education, rent the property, local job opportunity, and also other issues. So most of the Hong Kong new immigrants facing the issues of property renting or buying a property. They worry about their children educations because most of them, their families actually with their background, most of them is about age from 35 to 45. So they have young kids from primary school to about secondary school. Of course, they look for the jobs. So they don't want to just come over and retire in UK because still they have the still working capability. Of course, they need to find out the transport because most of the time they don't have the their own cars once they come over. And sometimes they have the issues of open their UK bank account. And even some language problems, they are not very confident in communicating in English. So we have to help out in some kinds of translation. Or even they look for the Chinese staff in Bristol. They have to find out the GP, how to register in NHS system. Even some of the Christians, they would like to come to our church. So we offer all these supports like viewing the house and property, take them to view the property once they make an appointment with the estate agents, give them some advice of some of the schools about the area, or even how to obtain the UK driving license, open bank account, how to connect to the internet, mobile phone, council tax, water, gas, and electricity, and so on. And also we offer very practical help. We also send them some Chinese food. So this is one kind of Chinese delicacies, sesame ball. We make it and then send it to the new immigrant family. So this is one of the kids enjoy this Chinese foods, especially during the periods of Chinese New Year. So our church actually is try to offer the practical support to the new immigrants so they won't feel lonely or helpless. So this is so far what we have done with the Chinese new immigrants from Hong Kong. Thank you very much.
For us just to receive a quick overview of, the Chinese church in Bristol. And I just now want to invite Pastor Wai. So Pastor Wai is one of the pastors there, and he's going to share a little bit more about the specific congregations and some of the family groups that are actually living in our city and in certain areas. Thank you, Pastor Wai.
Yep. Good morning, reverends, pastors, brothers and sisters, and also friends. I'm Pastor Wai. I'm actually from Malaysia. So I came to Bristol and served the church, served our Lord since 2018 until now. But like Pastor Martin, I'm not new to UK. I studied in Cranfield University when I was way younger, back in the year 2000 to 2002. So like what Mark has said just now, we celebrated our 20th church anniversary last year. In fact, we started about 50 years ago as a student fellowship. We call ourselves Bristol Chinese Christian Fellowship, BCCF. So this is a student Bible study group. We meet on a Friday at Bristol University starting in 1970. So we are now a vibrant church based in Tyndale Baptist Church on White Ladies Road. So just to give you a little bit background about our church, we have 3 separate languages in our church. So we have 3 separate services conducted in English, Mandarin, and also Cantonese. So on the first Sunday of the month, all us combined together with translations to worship together in different languages and receive the Holy Communion again in different languages together at the same time. While on the other Sundays, we have 3 separate worship sessions all happening at the same time. And we also have the Sunday school for both the children and the youth. So you can imagine, apart from the 3 languages of services, at the same time, we have the children ministry and also the youth ministry going on. So our need for space is actually a lot. Like many churches in and around Bristol, we encourage to have a life of fellowship in addition to Sunday worship. So for these many people groups from our Bristol Chinese Christian Church, we have up to 14 cell groups or 14 fellowship groups meeting for Bible studies and fellowship sessions, spreading out every day of the week. So in our church, we have students, we have children, we have working professionals, we have takeaway or Chinese food business owner, we have catering business owner, we have catering business worker, we also have retired Chinese immigrants. So we have a good mix of first and second generation Chinese. So we are a big, vibrant family in BCCC with Chinese from different backgrounds, different age groups, cultures, and also upbringings. So now we are looking to serve the new immigrants from Hong Kong. So I would like to add a little bit about that. There's a good coincidence that many of the new immigrants, they have selected this place of Bradley Stoke to settle in, at least for their first housing or the first place that they stay in Bristol. We are not exactly sure why. What is the reason that they choose Bradley Stoke? But a lot of them are here, and at the same time, our church has a bigger group of families staying in Bradley Stoke. So we see this as one of the very good opportunities to serve them from the community of Bradley Stoke. And we have noticed that many of the new immigrants, they are young families with young children. By young families with young children, we mean many of their children who arrive here are of the primary school age, and the parents are usually between the ages of 20s to early 40s. So one of our priority now is to help them to accommodate their families to settle in well in Bristol, starting from the community in Bradley Stoke. So we seek to work together with local churches to expand and help set up the family fellowships for them. But the challenge for us is actually most of them told us that they prefer a fellowship group that speaks Cantonese with Chinese food available to them, or with some sort of Chinese practice available for them. So it is one of the challenge, but we still love to work with local churches for fellowship venues and gathering places. So I wish to talk about these 4 points, short in brief. So we're actually not looking to exclusively serving the Chinese communities only, but because we have similar backgrounds and we know them from our Chinese upbringing. So this really helps us a lot when serving to them. We can really identify with their needs because some of us are new immigrants and some of us were new immigrants. So when the second thing is when the new immigrants come here, they were not ready to blend into local communities. Some of them were sort of half forced or came here because of the political situation or the social situation. So they did not come here having readied for what they face. So they will need time to pick up the languages and the local cultures. That is why we look to set up Cantonese meeting groups for them and support them with their stress, because some of them, they might come with trauma, some of them might have PTSD, and we would love to reach out to them and work with local churches when reaching out from our similar cultural backgrounds with them, so that we can better support them. The third is many of them told us that they really need to pick up English because they find it a big challenge to look for a job or working if they don't know English well. So we also love to help them with their English language empowerment, not just knowing how to talk and understanding English, but at the same time feel comfortable to communicate with the locals. Finally, fourth, we are looking for ways to work with local churches on serving them, and help everyone be ready for them. So finally, through this meeting and exchange of ideas, may God help us, and may God encourage all of us to keep praying for them and keep praying for how we can work together and serve them together.